Hey guys! In this Procreate tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to draw a semi-realistic golden ring in the easy way. If you follow this tutorial and post your drawing on Instagram, make sure to tag me so I can see it and give my feedback on your work. If you think this tutorial is just a piece of cake for you and you'd like to watch more advanced and detailed drawing tutorials, welcome to my Patreon. If you join right now, you'll get a free 7-day trial period to check it out. Now without further ado, let's begin! For this drawing, I'm going to use a vertical canvas with the dimensions of 2000 by 2500 pixels. DPI is 300 and color profile is Display P3 from RGB. This time we will work with the brushes that are already in Procreate, and the color palette is free to download in the video description as always. In the beginning, I want to change the background color into a dark one. We just need to tap here on the background color and then select color number 1 from the palette. It'll get dark. Now let's open the color palette once again and select color number 2. From calligraphy set, I will pick monoline and set it to a low size, like 2%. Let's draw an oval like this, going with an angle. And if we hold on a second, we will get a perfect ellipse that we can scale and rotate. Let me now duplicate this one. Click on the arrow, enable magnetics in the settings, and drag it down like this. I'll rotate the selection bar and make it a little bit bigger to add some perspective to the ring, like this. Now we only need to connect these two ovals with the arcs on the sides. So let me draw one here. It can be also edited. And then I will draw another one here at the bottom. Try to match it. We can now merge these two layers and then duplicate the layer. For this one, that is at the bottom, I want to change the color, and to do it easily, I will first tap on it and alpha lock. Then select color number 3. Go back to the layer, tap on it again, and click Fill Layer. Now we can remove alpha lock from it and drag the color into this one. After we did that, let's also work on the layer on top. I'll go back to the color number 2 and fill these parts. Now we only need to remove these light lines from the dark part. We can use a eraser here. I will set it to monoline and try to erase it carefully. Like this. Then remove it all. I will also start erasing from here. Make a sharp tip. And after that, remove the line here too. Let's try to make a smooth transition here. In the end, we will get this. So now that the shape is ready, let's start applying shading and make it look like gold. I want to start with the light part. So let me click on this plus button here to create another layer. And then I will clip it. After that, let's select color 4. And also go to change the brush. From airbrushing section, I will pick medium hard airbrush. It has a slightly soft edge. I want to show you a small trick that allows to create gold effect easily. It is all about the contrast. So first we need to apply this dark color that we just selected, and then on top of it, add a very light one that make it glow. Let's go ahead. So the brush size can be set to around 47% or so. And I will start drawing on top of the shape. Go down like this and make it a bit wider at the end. Let me just fix it. I will remove all the curves here and try to make it smooth. Like this. And now that we have it, let's add another layer on top. We need to clip it too, so we will create more layers above. Now we need to switch to color 5. Lower the brush size, so it needs to fit this dark shape. Can be a little bit bigger. I think it is around 13%. And I will start drawing the highlights. Inside this dark area. Not going outside it. I will just lower the size to make a sharp tip. Let's draw another one here. We can make it slightly wider. And then draw a bigger one again. It may start approximately from this point. And then get wider like this. I will try to match it with this edge. So it could go a little lower. This way. Then I will lower the size again and add some smaller highlights. Let me paint a shape here. Just something like this. And then one more. Let's make it different. Right after that, I will select a lighter tone, number 6, and add the color inside these shapes that we just created. Just make them a bit smaller, like this. Need to lower the size on this one. And just make a stroke inside it. Then I will increase it to draw inside this big shape. Just like this. Let me also paint inside these two. And now we can apply some Procreate magic. It's called Bloom. I just noticed that my lines are not so perfect. My hand was a little bit shaking. So we can fix it by applying Gaussian blur. Let's just not overdo it. I think around 3% is fine. It'll get a little bit blurry and all the imperfections will disappear. At least that will get less visible. And now after we did that, we can finally apply Bloom. It is also here in Adjustments. I selected it, and now we need to slide to the right, like this, to get this glow effect. I want to achieve white color in the middle, and yellow outside. So we can slide even more. And if you like, you can play around with the size. You can make it smaller and bigger. I want to remove this glow around the shapes, so I will lower the size a little bit. To get this, I think it looks quite cool. So I've set bloom to 81%, size at 23%, and I kept burn at 35% as it was. Now we can deselect it. We will go back to this part later, and now I want to shade the lower part. To do that, let's go back to the layer 1. Then I will add another one above it, and it will get clipped right away. Let's switch to color 7, and then select soft brush. Or maybe instead of this one, it will be better if we use Wattlebird from Materials. Lately it became my favorite brush. I think it just works better. So let me make the size slightly bigger, at around 10%, and I will make strokes at the lower side. Like this. Keep this light area on top. Then we can add one more layer above this one. It will get clipped again, but this time I will set it to multiply mode. So we will get a darker color. Let's also select color number 8 and draw more at the bottom. We will get this nice yellow color. Like this. And right after that, I will go even darker. So let me go ahead and create another layer. Later we will merge them all. I just like to experiment. So let me now select color number 9 and draw more closer to the edge. We also need to set it to multiply first. Before I forget. Let me clear it and start over again, so I can see what I'm doing. We can just paint at the bottom, like this. Let's darken this part a little bit. And then I want to introduce some pink color, so it doesn't look too yellow. Let me create another layer for that. I will set it to multiply again, just to blend it better with the previous colors. And I will select color 10. I think here we can switch to soft brush. It is in the airbrushing section. I will lower the size and just make strokes on the sides like this, to get this brownish pinkish color. I think it looks even better like this. Now let's add some thickness to this side, and also make it look like it is heavy. Let's add a layer on top of all layers, and clip it. Let's start with color number 9. And I will also go to change the brush into Wattlebird. Let's set the size to around 4% and draw on this edge. I will start from here and make a stroke around it. You can make it as thick as you want. Just to keep the perspective, let's make it a little bit wider here. And also paint in this corner. Try to match it with this side. So I will go around this shape. And then connect it. I think we can make it even wider. Just a little bit. Alright, now let's add a highlight. For that I'm going to use color number 2. Just put it slightly here, close to the edge. Move a little more down. and make a subtle stroke here at the bottom. Like this. In the end, we can select white color from the disk and add a light reflection here on top by making a stroke this way. Now this side seems to be ready. Let's go to this layer and paint the inner part. I will also create another layer above it and then clip. Let's start with the shadow. We need to go to the color palette and select color number 11. And to get a nice tone, let's change the layers mode to multiply. I'll make the size a bit bigger. And start drawing here. Go to the right a little bit. And then make a stroke on top. Like this. And for the highlight, we can select color number 6. Add another layer in normal mode. We also need to get it clipped to the previous one. I will make the size smaller. And draw something like this. Like a triangle with a line. Let's now smudge it a little. I will go to the finger. Select Wattlebird. Set the opacity to around 54% and size at around 4%. Smudge it carefully like this. By changing the direction of the pencil, we can also adjust the shape. It may go a little up. Now let's also add some glow to it, using bloom feature. Let's find it in the adjustments and slide to the right to get it white. So I've set bloom to 32%. Now to remove the sharpness, I will smudge it a little bit again. Like this. After the highlight, let's add the final shadows. I want to add another layer for it. Then clip it. And pick color number 4. Increasing the size slightly to darken this part. Making a stroke on top. And also shade this part. Like this. To get even a darker color, I will create one more layer, clip it, and set to multiply mode, so we can keep the same color. Let's darken this side even more. And also put it here. Just like this. Let's make a stroke here on this side. And after we did that, we can add thickness here on top. I'm adding a layer, clipping it, and picking color 9. Let's try to match it with the sides. For that I will make the size smaller And I will try to continue this line. Make a stroke around the edge. Let's also paint from this one. And now to separate it from the black background, I will create the last layer. Also clip it. Set it to soft light. And pick white from the disk. Apply this color at the bottom. In the end, we will get this. We can now merge all these layers. And also this. To add some final touches, we can actually merge even these two layers. Then duplicate it. Add a clipping mask. And set it to multiply mode. It is too dark, so I will lower the opacity to around 48–49% or so. And now if you go to adjustments, pick hue, saturation, brightness, you can play around with the colors. So you can add some more orange color to it, or yellow, according to the color you prefer. I will set hue to 54%. That's how I like it. And we will get this. Let's now also merge these layers. Then create another one. I will also clip it. Open the color palette. And select color number 9. Now in the brushes, let's go to luminance. And pick light pen. Let's lower the size and add some extra highlights, especially on the edges. We can put a few here. Just need to press more on the pencil. And also on this edge. I will increase the size a little bit here. Draw like this. Now let's increase it even more. And draw something here. But then I will smudge it. Stretch the color to the sides. Like this. In the end, I will create one more layer. Set it to add mode. We can try to keep the same color, but select flare brush from the same set. Let's make the size a bit smaller and tap on this part. We can now adjust it. I will remove magnetics, scale it a little bit, and put it right on this shape. We can try to grab a razor, set it to soft brush, and I will remove the tips. Just a little bit. To finish the composition, let's add a reflection under the ring. That's what I like to do with the shiny objects on a dark background. You could see it in my emerald ring drawing and golden pineapple. Both tutorials are available on Patreon if you missed them. Let me first select all the layers and move it a bit up, so we have more space at the bottom. If you like, you can also scale it. Like this. I will just try to center it. And then go to duplicate this layer at the bottom. Let's now go here. Click on the arrow and flip it vertical. Then I will activate magnetics in the settings and drag it down like this. We need to lower the opacity to around 50%. Select Eraser, pick Soft Brush, and remove it from the bottom like this, to make it fade. And now after we did that, the drawing is complete. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For more tutorials and brush sets, check out my Patreon page. Free 7 days trial is still open. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.